Hello, welcome back to the She Who Dares Wins podcast. My guest is Becca Worgan. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back. I'm very excited.
I know, it's been wicked. How long's it been? Must be well over a year.
I think it's got to be.
You were officially world's strongest natural woman.
Yeah.
Can you still say that? Can you still hold that title?
Yeah, I say it, but then I always say in 2023 because I did the pathway again in 2024. I think just before. Yeah, this was just when we filmed the episode. I was getting ready to do the 2024 Worlds.
Yeah.
So that didn't go very well at all. I ended up actually pulling out of that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we made a bit of an error because there was 2 competitions and they ended up being a week apart. So like we had 5 days to recover, and the first one was Europe's Strongest Woman, which was an untested competition that we all did, and that went all right, but I'd injured my back during it, and obviously I already had my bicep, which I was still a little bit like, it was still quite fresh in my head. And then 5 days later we then drove to Galway, went to do the Natty Worlds, and I got, I think, 2 events in. I did the log, that didn't go as planned. I did the second event, which was the frame, and I couldn't pick it off the floor, and I was like, hang on a minute, something's not right here.
Okay.
And I just felt terrible, like I felt awful, and I was like, I don't think I'm right enough to do this. And I remember I was speaking to my coach and like a couple of my mates that were there, and they were like, you'll be fine, just warm up for the next event. And the thought of warming up for the next event like was making me cry, and I'm not a big crier, like, as you can probably imagine, like unless I'm really hormonal, I don't cry a lot. And I don't really cry at competitions because like I enjoy them, like it's fun. And I thought, I'm not having fun today. Like, this is not
What was
for
that,
me.
do you reckon? Do you reckon that was that physically you weren't ready, or do you think there was a little bit of like hesitancy because of what had happened to you?
Yeah, I think it was a bit of both. I think I was really aware of the injuries that I had, and really aware that, like, it sounds awful this, but aware that I wasn't going to perform, like I wasn't going to do what I knew I was capable of doing.
Yeah.
And at that point, at that competition, obviously I'd won it last year, the year before. So I was like, well, if I know I'm not going to be capable enough to put on a decent performance and show what I'm capable of, why am I going to do it? Like, and I'm not enjoying myself either. I'm having a terrible time. Like, I want to go home. This is awful. And yeah, I just thought, do you know what? Actually, I need to just pull the plug and say, no, this isn't for me. I've probably made a mistake doing those back-to-back comps, and I've probably made a mistake coming back a little bit too soon, like not being 100% myself. So yeah, I pulled out, but just before the third event, and then luckily they let me commentate a little bit. So I
Nice.
stayed and did like a bit of commentary and stuff, and I had FOMO watching it. I was like, oh God, should I have done that? Should I have done this? But looking back at it now, I think absolutely you should have. Like, it was a very good decision on my part, I think.
To pull out?
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Can you, obviously, like, training is super fun, it's something you do all the time. With competitions then, is there any way of you just going, I'm just going to have fun? Or is it I know you said this before, you said this on the first thing, you were like, I've got to send it, I'm there to win. Is that still the case?
Sort of. I think this year has been a really interesting year in terms of competing for me, because I've had loads of little niggly injuries this year, just silly little things where I've pushed myself back too soon, or I have an idea of what I'm capable of in my head, and if I can't hit that in training, I'm like, well, that's ridiculous. Like, I'll just do it anyway, and then I hurt myself, and I'm like, who'd have guessed? Like, ridiculous. But yeah, this year I've done quite a few like just more fun type competitions. Like I did one the other week, the Aaron Page Classic, and there was me and a couple of my friends, Chloe and Annabelle, and we'd all gone and signed up for it just for a bit of crack. And to be honest, it was mint. Like, there was no real pressure on us. Like, it was just a really good, fun day where like we were just sort of seeing where we were, all of us. None of us were there to be like, yeah, I'm going to win this, I'm going to come out on top. The only thing we really wanted was all 3 of us wanted to make sure we're on the podium, because the trophies were really cool. Like, they were the coolest trophies we've ever had. So yeah, there was like no pressure at that competition. We were just sort of seeing how we did against each other and have a bit of a laugh. And I really enjoyed that, like proper enjoyed that. But saying that I did that, and then I was instantly like, I can't wait for next year. I'm going to smash next year. Like, it almost like lit that competitive fire in me again of being like, yeah, I can start sending this now. Let's go.
And have you got you still got your heights set pretty high for going back to Worlds or?
Yeah, so my plan next year, I mean, it changes every time. When I listen to like what I've said in the past, every week my plan changes of what I'm doing next year. So my original plan was I'm just going to focus on like the natural pathway. So I'm signed up for England's, which is February, beginning of February, and I want to try and run through that full pathway again because obviously, because I didn't do any of the comps last year, I don't have an automatic invite to any of them this year. So I've got to basically start from the beginning and do the entire pathway.
Right.
But I'm quite excited for that. Like, and this year it's huge. I mean, England's, they sent out an athlete list the other day and there's maybe like 20, 25 in my category alone, which bearing in mind the first year I did it, there was 6 of us.
Wow. So that just shows how much this is growing.
Massive. It's so much bigger. And I mean, Worlds last year was huge. Like it was absolutely, well, Worlds this year was massive. Like they had such a huge turnout. I think there was about 200 athletes in it. So yeah, I'm quite excited to see how I fit into this new pathway with this bigger depth of athlete as well. So yeah, that's my main focus, is to do the naturals and try again at Worlds and just see where I place. I'll say it now. I don't think I'm going to win. Like, I'll put it out there now. There's not a big chance of me winning Worlds 2026 because the standard is just improved massively. Like, there's so many good athletes coming through the sport now. And then I wasn't going to do the untested pathway, but then someone was chatting to me about it and I was like, do you know what? Might as well just go and do that too. So I'm doing that in January as well. England's the untested version.
So that is potentially you competing against people that might be taking stuff or
Yeah. But like, that's just, I mean, like we said in the last one, it's just common in strongman. It's a big thing. It's huge. I mean, there's loads of controversial stuff in strongman at the moment, but that's a drama for another day, I'd imagine. Yeah.
Should that probably be eradicated maybe with time if...
I don't know, really. It's an interesting thing because I think strongman is so ingrained in having this untested part of it that even if I think the natural pathway overtook the untested pathway, I still think there would be the untested side of it. Like,
right.
I just think it's so... When you get into the sport and you realise how many people are taking gear and how much of the sport is using gear, it's shocking. And there's a weird, like, I was talking about it to a couple of girls the other day, where if you don't take gear in the sport, it's almost a bit like people look down on you a little bit. Like, it's not cool to be natty. Like,
oh, really?
It's a really weird, it's a weird sport. I think the natural pathway is doing really good things to sort of show that there is a cool side of it to be natural.
Yeah.
But definitely a couple of years ago, if you were the one that was posting on social media being like, I'm a natural athlete, I do this, I do that, I don't take gear and all this, people would be like, who does she think she is? Who do you think you are? Like,
it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really weird. I had a really interesting conversation with Chloe about it, actually, Chloe Brennan, and she's a natural athlete, and she's started, like, she's quite vocal about being a natural athlete, and she was saying, like, no, you need to be more vocal about it. Like, you need to show that there's representation there for, like, the natural side. Because I've always been a bit like, oh, yeah, like, I would never not say that I'm a natural, but I don't really shout about it. But then also, I don't feel like I'm the best representation of a natural female athlete. I'm very masculine. Like, I sound like I've taken gear. I look a bit like I've taken gear.
I wouldn't say that.
I don't feel like I'm the face to go, natural athletes, let's go. I'm this weird bald girl in the corner, like, with a really deep voice. Like, yeah.
I think it's hard though as well, isn't it? With social media, with everyone's got an opinion, and it is probably a subject matter that a lot of people that don't know the sport will have an opinion on as well. And it's like, do you want to get into that? Like, it's a whole other level of just like batting away bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you're just opening the doors for like the keyboard warriors. I mean, there was a massive controversy for Worlds that's just been the untested Worlds. Don't know if you'll have heard about it, but I know a lot of people probably listening will have. The woman that won the Opens Women category was transsexual. So...
Right, okay.
That caused... I mean, I don't want to go into any opinions on it at all because it's something that I wasn't there. I didn't see it. I don't know her at all. So I don't want to get into that. But that then brought up the fact of like, well, how are they going to tell that the females competing are females, blah, blah, blah. And you think, well, you're making it really difficult because it's an untested sport as well. So look, you can't do hormone testing because everyone's taking gear. So like, there's massive issues with it all of the time. And I just think, yeah, strong woman at the moment is a really tricky place to be in. And because of all of that as well, this is the point I was getting to. I completely forgot my train of thought there. I think 'cause I was trying to be sensible about what I was saying. But because of that, it brought in a load of keyboard warriors. So because everyone was on this huge hate train of like, she shouldn't have been in, she shouldn't have been competing, it opened a door for people to then go, well, she looks like a man, she shouldn't be competing, she's clearly on gear. And you think, well, because we've allowed that, we've gone, oh, she shouldn't have competed, she shouldn't have won. We've opened the door to all this hate. We've allowed that to happen.
Yeah, that's a real tough one, isn't it? Because I always get myself in trouble with stuff like this, but black and white, if you just went black and white, women that are taking stuff to get stronger, that is inherently in the sport.
Yeah.
Men are genetically, physically stronger.
Yeah.
As a whole, not.
Yeah.
So there is a difference. That's, I'm trying to say this so that it doesn't come across as being an absolute douchebag. I think everybody should have the ability to compete no matter what.
Yeah.
But I do think category-wise, it is a bit unfair.
100%, yeah.
Like, it just is. It is unfair.
Yeah.
And that's not to say they shouldn't be allowed to compete, and they absolutely should. And it's hard, isn't it? Because you don't want to ostracise that person and put them in another category. Yeah. And create a third category because they're likely just going to be the only person.
One, yeah, exactly.
So it's it's an interesting thing with sport to see where that goes on all levels. Like you've got, athletes. It's hard. I don't know. Whoever has to make that decision is incredibly...
Yeah.
But I suppose you layer that up with then... the drugs too. It's like, well, this is the floodgates.
Thing. Yeah, exactly. Like in, say, like your swimming or your Olympic weightlifting, where it's all drug tested and everyone knows, like maybe it's a little bit easier for them to draw those lines. But in strongman, where it's not drug tested, how do you draw those lines? Yeah. Where do you draw them?
There's already an advantage, isn't there? So it's like, are you just throwing an extra thing in? Like, does it really matter that much? Yeah, it's a hard one.
Yeah. And I mean, the girl that won it as well, the girl that won the Opens, she didn't win it by a landslide. Like, I feel like a lot of people sort of went on the fact that, she just went in and absolutely smashed everybody. Yeah. And as well, it made it more difficult because the woman that came second, she's been on my podcast, Andrea Thompson, who's like brilliant. She's a great strong woman. She's been in the sport for years and years. She's a naturally shorter athlete. Like she's quite a short athlete for an Opens. And against this other athlete who was a lot taller, there was obviously a big size comparison. But when you actually looked at the points in the events, Andrea was winning up until the last event. So
that throws everything out as well.
Exactly, yeah. It doesn't even make it like an even sort of playing field where you go, oh, yeah, she had a completely unfair advantage. It was so easy for her to win. It wasn't. Like, she still had to work hard.
Yeah.
But then there's all the drama afterwards. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a really, really difficult subject to talk about. And I think, it's hard to voice your opinions and not upset anybody on it.
Yeah.
You're always going to upset somebody. Yeah. Everyone's going to always be upset. And I think it's just been difficult within strongman because there's a group of people that are not respectful and they've got their own agenda. It's not to help strong women at all because it hasn't. It's made it worse. I mean, strong woman was on like the national news and stuff. I mean, I think CNN and Fox News had done stories on it, but not in a good way. Like, right. Not in a way that was making us look better. It was making us all look worse.
Oh,
so.
God.
It's really difficult, yeah.
So we've got progression in terms of the amount of women that are standing up to compete. The sport's getting bigger. There's obviously issues that need to be ironed out on in the underbelly of it. Yeah. But are you seeing, we were chatting off camera about you're now qualified physio and you do coaching, and you've seen an uprise in women of all ages.
Yeah.
Doing lifting, which is super exciting. Do you think that's come off? Because I don't see that much stuff strongman other than obviously through you and your socials. Like, I don't really see it on the telly. I know it's on YouTube and stuff, but do you
Yeah.
think that's where do you think these people are coming from? What have they learned that they're now like, right, I need to lift?
I think that strong women in general, a lot of like people that are in the sport now are getting better at promoting themselves. I think I spoke about it on the last episode that people don't self-promote very well in this sport, and that's got so much better. Like, people are really into social media, they're really getting into YouTube, they're putting stuff out there to sort of attract other people, but not through like your general news outlets. But then I do think there's sort of a shift in what people perceive strength training to be. Like, I think even with the NHS now, like, there's a big shift in sort of strength training within the NHS, and I think that's sort of the start of this push into general population. You can strength train. It doesn't mean you don't have to be a bodybuilder, you don't have to be Eddie Hall, like, but to keep yourself fitter and healthier for longer, all of the evidence and all of the studies are showing that strength training will help you do that. Like, improving your mood, improving like anxiety and depression, improving your bone density so that when you get to 70 and you fall over, you don't actually break your hip and then potentially die from it as well. Like, there's so much evidence now to support that strength training helps so many of these things that I think people can't ignore it anymore. They can't just go, oh, that's just for the bodybuilders. That's just for like a bit of a niche vibe. It's not anymore. It's general population. And I've had so many people come to me just saying, like, oh, I could just do with being a bit stronger. Like, my mum, for instance, like, she wants to get stronger because when she's nannying, she's struggling to pick up the fat babies. Like, and she's like, they're heavy. Like, I can't pick them up and I'm struggling to hold on to them. And I'm like, well, let's do some gym work. Let's strength train. So that isn't a difficult thing anymore, because the only thing is, if we don't start now, it's going to get more like difficult. It's going to get progressively harder. It's not going to get easier. You're going to get weaker as it goes on. So let's start now. And I think that's the great thing as well about it. You're not too late. No one's ever too late. I mean, I've got clients who are like in the 60s and 70s who are lifting.
Just started lifting.
Yeah, just started. And they get, like we were chatting before, saying, you're still getting those newbie gains. So they're progressing quite quickly. They're suddenly getting stronger. And within 6 weeks of just twice a week strength training, they're noticing massive differences just to day-to-day life, getting out of bed, getting up and down the stairs, going and picking a wheelbarrow up. Like, it's massive. So that's something that I'm really trying to promote now through my physio, is that like the strength training is the key. This is the key that we all need. So let's all do it.
Yeah. And it's not even like, so when I've done lifting, when you start out, you need a little bit of guidance with things. But I mean, I've been doing CrossFit for now a year and a half. You are not going to do lifting for a couple of months and get massive, because I am testament to that. Yeah. That doesn't happen. I'm still trying. It doesn't happen. There's loads of things that come into that with diet, etc.
Yeah.
But I think there's also, perhaps for women, this kind of scary bit where I see it. Like, I see lots of people lift at CrossFit and I'm like, oh, I don't really want to get to that point where it's not a physical thing, but that point where, like, you know, their eyes are bulging, and because there is an injury worry.
Yeah.
But you don't even, that's like the extremity. You can literally get to a certain point. You don't have to keep going. That's what I think, you know, I think some of the men get drawn into that. Like, Tom's definitely like in that point where it's like, I can keep going. And I'm like, I just want to get to a point where I'm like, yeah, this is good. And then kind of keep it at that and maintain it. I think lots of people get put off. They think, you know, picking up atlases and all the stuff that you do on a competitive side, but it's not, is it? It's starting with the bar.
100%.
And then just increasing and seeing where you can go and listening to your own body.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think I get the benefit of, because I've got the physio background behind me, so I think people almost trust me a little bit more, which I think is crazy when you see what I lift like, and what I'm doing.
They don't follow your socials.
I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing at all. Like, I get someone else to do my physio, because poor them, like, I'm terrible. But yeah, I think because I've got that background of physio, it just gives people that little bit more confidence that, like, we're not going to do anything crazy. They're not going to have that injury risk. But I mean, there's always going to be an injury risk, but it's going to be a bit more controlled, because I'm thinking about that as well while we're lifting. But you're totally right. Like, you don't have to maximally lift. You don't have to be deadlifting until your nose is bleeding. Like, you can just do enough to where you feel like you've done enough. And that's going to make a massive difference. Like, it's going to make a huge benefit. Just squatting a barbell is going to be beneficial for you getting up and down off your chairs, down the stairs, that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's just super important, I think.
I think more beneficial than, like, I've got more out of it than running cardio.
Yeah.
Like, I think from mental side and physical side.
100%. And I think there's a lot of stuff now as well to support even like strength training for running. So my husband, Ben, when he did that big race in Arizona in April, I'd put a strength training program together for him, and he hates strength training. He absolutely hates it. Like, he doesn't want to do it. Sometimes he'll come to the gym with me, and I can see him. He's just sat there going, oh, "This is terrible. Like, get me out of here." He hates the whole thing. But he has noticed a massive difference in his running.
Yeah,
From
I was
having
told
some
that.
strength training.
Yeah.
And like, I had a bit of a crossover because I've started running quite a lot, and I only really did it to keep my weight in check for the weight classes. And also I wanted a bit of a challenge this year. I wanted to do something a little bit different. But because I've already got the background in strength training, I changed my strength training routine to be more based around getting stronger for running.
Okay.
And it made such a big difference to my running. It made it so much easier.
Right.
So I think, yeah, the running's really good and the cardio is really good and it is important. But for me, I think the strength training is much more important. I think that's the base that you need. Your cardiovascular health is always going to be an important part. But if you don't have that strength base, then
yeah,
your
and
cardio
you're
doesn't
susceptible
matter.
to injury, aren't you? I think Stay said that when she came on, and she's strength and conditioning coach for the under 18 England women's football team, and she was like, they're scared of getting big, and yet the mindset is like ACLs are going, all these things are failing, and women need to have probably more strength training than the guys, because we're physically built different. And she was like, it's like a mindset thing.
Yeah.
But I've talking about mindset with lifting, it's in here.
Yeah.
Like, if I tell myself, oh, no, don't do that. Like, the worry of dropping the bar on your back or, like, anything above the head. Like, how do you overcome that with people? And how, like, if is there anything you've had to overcome mentally?
Yeah, so I totally understand the overhead thing, and I've had so many conversations with this to people. And my biggest thing for overhead is if you know how to fail properly, you'll always be fine. So failing is almost, you need to practice failing. You need to be able to get out from underneath the barbell. Because, I mean, when I press now, I don't even think about it. I just throw something above my head and hope for the best. Like, because I know that I'm fast enough to get out. Yeah, like, I know that if it's going to go wrong, I'm probably going to be able to move out of the way of it. But I do understand that, and it is a big worry for a lot of people. I've not really ever worried about it, but I have had the same thing with deadlifting. So, well, for me, I've injured my back multiple times now deadlifting, like, mainly because I do stupid things, like, not because deadlifting is inherently bad for you, just because I'm stupid. So I really struggled with that, and I got to a point last year where when I was going into the gym, I was like having panic attacks thinking about deadlifting, and I'd have my program and I'd be like, right, this is what I've got to do today. These are the sort of numbers that I want to hit. And as I'd be driving to the gym, I could feel my heart racing, and I'd be sat there thinking, like, what are you doing? You're mental. Like, there's nothing's going to happen. You're not even doing anything. You're in your car. Like, and I could feel my back hurting while I was in the car before I would deadlift. And I was like, this is insane. And I couldn't get anywhere. I mean, I was stuck for like at least the last year. I haven't pulled anything up until that last competition, sort of over 150 kilos in like the last year without a suit, because I was so scared that I was going to hurt myself. And the minute I'd pick up anything that was slightly heavy, and I mean for me, like 100 kilos, 120 kilos, I'd have back pain because I was already setting myself up to be in pain for it.
Do you reckon that was like your body? Like, do you reckon it was a true pain, or do you reckon it was your brain just going, I'm going to trick you here?
It was 100% my brain.
Is it?
100% my brain, yeah. And I remember going to one of my physios and saying to him, I think I need an MRI on my back because, like, there's something wrong with it. And he was like, there's nothing wrong with your back. Like, you know there's nothing wrong with your back. And I was like, yeah, I know. But I just need something. I need something to show me that there isn't anything wrong with it. So I'm willing to pay like 500 quid for a private MRI to go, see, there's nothing
peace
there.
of mind.
Yeah, and in the end, I actually went and got hypnotherapy from, again, my friend Chloe.
Yeah.
And she did 2 sessions with me about like dealing with like my pain in my back and just being able to go out and deadlift pain-free and not think about like the potential injury risk and stuff. And that was a game changer for me. Absolute game
Really?
changer. And I think I got to that point because I realized that it wasn't, no matter how many times I told myself, with all the physio knowledge I have behind me, that I was going to be fine and that there was nothing wrong, my subconscious was just not going to let that go.
Yeah.
It was not going to let that go, that you hate deadlifting and it's hard and you hurt your back doing it. So in the end, yeah, I just went and got hypnotherapy, and it worked like that as well.
Did it?
I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is never going to work. And
I think that's fascinating, because I think a lot of women go through this like health anxiety. That like I can relate to that a lot, when I thought I'd got all these physical problems with me, but they weren't. They were in my head. But you can't, even though you tell yourself, no, it's in your head, or somebody else tells you. Yeah. It's like you've almost got to rewire your brain.
Yeah.
How does hypnosis work?
So I actually did it online, which again, I thought, there's no way this is going to work, man.
Right.
There's no way. So it was my friend Chloe. She's sound, like she's really good. She's got like a full coaching like business, and she does hypno as well. And she's got a massive background in the NHS, working like as a, I need to get this right first. I can't remember what she worked as in the NHS.
I'll put it in the description, don't worry.
I'll find out. But yeah, so she's got this huge background in sort of like mental health and working with people. She does a bit of life coaching and stuff as well, and like therapy and that. And yeah, she'd said to me, look, just try a couple of sessions, see how you get on. So we set it up as like a Zoom call, and I was lying on my bed. She was talking to me over the computer. I had the computer set up so that I could like, she could see me, I could see her. She started talking, and I was lying there with my eyes shut, thinking like, I'm not going. All of a sudden, I was fast asleep.
No way.
Fast asleep. And I can't remember the session at all. Like, when she woke me back up, I woke up and I was like, how'd that go? And she was like, yeah, it went really well. And she sent me the recordings so that I could listen to them back and like go over them again and again. Basically, you can use it to sort of hypnotize yourself again, which works really, really well. So I listen to them like before I go to sleep on a night time. And like I was talking to her. During the hypno sessions. Like I was talking, I was moving my hands, I was like answering questions, and I can't remember any of it. Like I was out like a light. It was really bizarre. It was one of them things where I was like, nah, not gonna work. And it massively did. Made a huge difference. And I remember the first session when I went back to the gym and I went to deadlift, and like the thoughts didn't even enter my head. And I was like, I don't feel worried. Like I don't feel nervous. My heart's not beating out my chest. Like I started deadlifting and I was like, I haven't had any pain in my back. Like this has worked. Like what on earth is going on here? And obviously like I still get the odd niggle here and there, and I still like, I did some heavy suited deadlifts the other day, and after I'd done that I was like, whoa, my back's a bit stiff. A couple of days I was like, oh, I'm fine again. Like,
That's fascinating.
right.
Were you a believer in it before?
No, not really. Not really. Like I'm not a big, I don't know. I didn't.
You just thought you'd give it a go and see.
Yeah, I thought I'd give it a go. But now I believe in it. I'm like, bloody hell, I need to go back to try and get me off of smoking. Oh, well.
Yeah, so they say it's one of the biggest things, isn't it?
100%, yeah. Like, and I genuinely do think now, like, if I mean, I don't want to give up. I don't smoke cigarettes, but I vape because I'm a 15-year-old boy at heart. But yeah, like, I just can't stop it. And at some point, I will go to her and say, like, can you try and hypnotise me out of this as well? Because I think if it's worked for that, it's surely got to work for this as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
yeah. And that's just like like they say, don't they? The people that have smoked or vaped, it's a habit.
Yeah.
That
100%.
your subconscious again is just going, oh, I'll do it now. It's linked to this. It's linked to that.
Yeah. It's obsessive. It's my worst trait. I hate it. I hate doing it. Like, but I just can't stop. Not yet. I need to just have one little comfort at the moment, and when I feel better in myself, I'll stop.
Yeah. No, that's good. I want to just go back to, because you dropped in about Ben and his run, and I was following you guys on that. Like, he's a crazy runner.
Yeah, mental.
Did an Arizona, what was it, 300?
Yeah, 300 mile.
In 7 days.
Yeah.
And you went to that event, and you like that must have been quite fun for you, because I saw that you were helping out on the medical tent. And you saw some sights and sounds. What were kind of highlights of that?
I mean, there was so many. It was the best trip we've ever been on, I think. Like, I absolutely loved it. And yeah, there was just so many highlights. Like, I enjoyed everything. The people were amazing. Like, and those ultra marathons are such if you ever get an opportunity to go and just volunteer or like just go and hang out at an ultra marathon at an aid station, go and do it, because you meet the coolest people ever. Like you see the weirdest stuff, you meet the coolest people, and everyone's got like a story or a journey that they've been on to get into ultra marathons, because it's a weird place, ultra marathons.
It's a place, right, where people I say this with the biggest respect. People that run that distance, I'm like, what are they running from?
Yeah, 100%.
But 9 times out of 10, like you said, they've got a story where it's like, fuck.
Yeah, 100%. And like, so I technically did my first ultra this year.
Oh, did you?
First ultra, but I ran 30 miles, so only just an ultra. It's 4 miles over a marathon.
Yeah, that's 4 miles too much.
It was 4 miles too much, believe me. But yeah, I did that one, and I just wanted to do it to show to myself that I could force myself. So I did 30 miles for my 30th birthday, which was my plan. And I ran walking. I'm not going to sit here now and say like I ran the entire thing. I walked a fair chunk of it, but that's the beauty of ultras, though. You can walk it.
Yeah.
Like it's perfect. If you want to get into running long distances, like go for ultras, because just walk them. Walk half a mile each time. It's absolutely mint. But yeah, it's just a different breed of people, a different mindset, especially those people who push into those like 200s, 250, 300 mile things are just, it's insane. And I mean, Ben doesn't run from anything. He loves it because it just clears his head, because he has to just deal with the problems that are in front of him and the things that are going on at that moment in time. And I think because he's such a busy person and he does so much, I mean, he does everything for me. I am such a lazy, dependent person. He was out for tea with his mates, which he hardly ever does on Monday night. And he'd gone out for tea, and I didn't have any food in the house, so I literally had a microwave meal. Like,
Sounds like me.
If left on my own, I'm a useless child.
Egg on toast.
Yeah, he does everything for me. He looks after the house. He works pretty much 7 days a week. Like, he's insane. But when he's running, that's his time to just focus on him and just do his own thing, deal with the problems that he gets put in front of him and just sort them out. And I think that's why he enjoys it so much. But I mean, during that 300, there was just so many crazy things. But it's funny the way that I was dealing with him compared to like other people that I was like sort of dealing with medically. So I remember on the first day, he'd done 75 miles and he'd got to me at the 75 mile mark. And he'd said to me, I think there's something in my hamstring. My hamstring really hurts. And I just went, shut up. There's nothing wrong with you. Go and sit down in that car, sleep for 2 hours. I'll wake you up in 2 hours. I'm not listening to this bullshit. Like, proper just was like, shut up. We don't care about that.
Yeah.
When he woke up, he didn't say anything again about it. And I thought, I'm not going to mention it now. And he never mentioned it again until the end of the race. And afterwards, when we're like debriefing, he was like, yeah, I think I really pulled my hamstring. You know, it was really, really sore. And I was like, yeah, I just wasn't going to give you that though. Because the minute that thought enters the head, like,
yeah, you're just giving up. Yeah.
Downhill, like straight away. So you've like with him, I'm really harsh. It's like we deal with the problem, we sort it out, we move on to the next thing. Like, we're not going to sit and dwell on any issues that you think you've got going on. Like, I'm not going to give that the voice. Whereas other people, when I was like doing medicine, they'd be like, oh, I've rolled my ankle, it's really sore. I'd be like, all right, let's have a little think about it then, see how you feel. Like, have a little walk, let's see if you want to keep going. Like, I was much kinder, but with him, I'm like, no, we haven't got time for that. Like, you've made a decision. We've flown to Arizona. Like, you're going to run 300 miles whether you like it or not. Like, it's happening. Like, you can't give up, so crack on.
Do you think you'd ever do one?
No.
No.
Nah, I think after that 30 that I did, I mean, the last 5 miles of that were atrocious. I was ready to die. And I got to that point where, like, I pushed my body so hard that my body was trying everything possible to get me to stop.
Oh, really?
So the last 3 miles, I could feel myself trying to have panic attacks. Like, I could feel my heart going. I could feel I was getting like really hot and sweaty and a bit dizzy. And I was I'm not panicking about anything. I know I'm not. Like, there's nothing to panic about. I'm 3 miles away from home. I can do this. Like, I can walk this last bit in. But it was my body going, you need to stop moving now. Like, I am done.
Do you reckon that was the wall that they all talk about?
Yeah, 100%. I think I'd pushed myself. And I mean, I did a really stupid prep for it. Previous to running that 30 mile, the longest run I'd ever done was 8 miles.
What?
So
Jesus Christ. There was no like proper train up building?
I did a run up to it, but I did it in, I think it was like 10 weeks of prep. I did it. So prior to the 10 weeks, the furthest I'd ever run was 8 miles. And then that 10-week prep, I ran a 10 miler, a 15 miler, and a 20 miler back to back, week after week. And then I had a 2-week taper into the 30.
Right.
So, but I mean, when I finished the 20, I was wrecked, absolutely wrecked. And you know, when you sat there and you're like,
how am I going to get?
In 2 weeks, I've got to run another 10.
Yeah.
Like, have I got another 10 in me? And I was like, I don't think I do. Like, I really don't. And it was obvious by that 25-mile mark that I had not had enough training to get to that point. I think that's why my body was so desperate to give up. Like, I'd been fine. I'd eaten food. I'd drank loads of water. I was absolutely fine. That last 5 miles, I was constantly feeling like I was going to throw up. I was like, I'm going to be sick. I'm going to be sick. I'm going to be sick. And I was like, you're not. Like, you're absolutely fine. But it's, again, my body going, stop.
Yeah.
You've done too much.
Have you ever had like a similar point in lifting in a comp to that feeling?
I don't think so, no. Because, I mean, you push your body maximally in competitions, but it's over such a short period of time. Your recovery is so much, like, quicker. Like, I know that there's been certain events that I've done. So I've fried my CNS a couple of times. I did it at Europe's it was 2022.
What's your CNS?
So your central nervous system.
Okay.
So there was a shield carry and it was 120 kilos. It was real heavy. And I've been watching the other competitors go before me and everyone was taking it quite steady and slow and then dropping it within like the first like 10, 20 meters. And I thought, I'm going to pick that up and I'm going to run. Because I know that I've only got a certain amount of time because my upper body's not the strongest. I've only got a certain amount of time I can hold that position for. So I'm just going to run and see how fast I can go and like get as far as I possibly can. And I got, I think, nearly like 40 meters. And in the end, it had dropped down and I was like trying to hold it onto my fingers. And then that was it. It was gone and it was on the floor. And as I turned around to walk off, my whole body just started like shaking. There's a video of me on my Instagram somewhere where I'm literally just like, oh my God. And everyone was trying to get the belts off me and they were like, what's going on? What's going on? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's happened. And I think that was just my CNS going, that was too much, mate. Don't know what you've just done there, but that was way too much. Like, pull it back. Ridiculous. So, and I've had that a couple of times where, yeah, I think it was my CNS has just gone too much. But within 20 minutes, I was fine again. I was back to normal.
Because it's such a short thing.
Yeah, because I think it's just that initial, like, massive effort, and then it's over within, like, under 60 seconds, isn't it? So,
yeah.
Whereas on your running, you're pushing through that.
Yeah.
You're just keeping going, like...
Well, that's where it sometimes can become quite dangerous when you see runners that do events and then they have heart attacks or whatever.
Oh, 100%.
But it's mad how far you can push the body. Like Ruth, who's the free diver, you know, when they come up, they pass out. And I'm like, and she's like, yeah, it's your body telling you you're out of oxygen. But it's really common. I'm like, what?
Yeah, insane.
Like, and I think you start learning, like, what your body can do, and it is incredible how far you can push it. Yeah. We were saying previously as well about the lack of sleep, so you didn't get much sleep on that Arizona trip because you were helping so many people out. And again, it's one of those things you just now, I mean, I would say to you, if I can't have 8 to 10 hours sleep a night, I couldn't do anything. But the reality is, you don't know till you try
100%
of what you can do.
Yeah, and I feel like this is what my year's been like. This whole year has sort of been me. I think turning 30 was like my big thing where I've really panicked about it.
Don't have a wobble at 30. I'm at 40. That's when you wobble, mate.
No, I've had the wobble. I had the wobble, and I think a lot of this year was me just going, I wonder how far I can push it. I wonder how far I can push my body, and I love seeing how far I can push it. Usually to my own detriment, but I really enjoy seeing that, and I'm exactly the same. Like before Arizona, I was like, I need 8 hours of sleep minimum. At Arizona, I never slept for more than 2 hours at a time. So I'd get 2 hours in the back of a car. So not even in a bed, just in the back of a car. There was one moment where I slept 3 hours, but that was because I'd turned my alarm off in my sleep and woke back up and then suddenly realized and was like, oh my God, I've slept too long. Get up. And like, I couldn't believe how I was able to function on that amount of sleep. But again, you don't know until you push yourselves into those limits. Like, and again, that's what I love about the whole strength training, about running, about doing ultras, is you don't know, and you probably surprise yourself. Like, I've surprised myself all this year with how much like I've been able to push myself to do. Like when I said that I was going to run 30 miles, I remember mentioning it to people and thinking, I don't know if I should have told people that because I don't know if I can do this. Like, I don't know if this is going
I
to be
think you have to tell. I told people about the marathon, and I wasn't going to do that either.
Yeah.
And I think as soon as you kind of telling your brain,
Yeah.
you're doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think as it got closer to it, I started to tell more people. And then I was like, right, well, I can't not do it now.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to because I've told everyone I'm going to do it. So
It's the driver, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's almost the like fear of failure or the fear of the embarrassment of
Failing.
doing something.
Yeah.
And then, well, saying you're going to do something and then not doing it. Because I sort of pride myself as a person that if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to get it done regardless.
Yeah.
I don't make like false promises on myself. I'll always try and at least try, even if I fail it, at least I've done it.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, it's been a weird old year.
What have you learned this year that you perhaps didn't practice or do in your 20s? Like, has there been kind of like an enlightenment of the 30s?
I don't know.
I feel like 30s is I feel like 20s is like fuck around, like your body's like with you, do stuff. For me anyway, 30s is like, you know yourself a little bit better. You're not quite there yet. For me, 30s is like, test it.
Yeah, building. That's what I feel like. I feel like this year, one of my biggest mantras this year has been like, if I don't enjoy it, why am I doing it? Like, that's one thing that I've had to really knuckle down on and going like, don't just say yes to everything. Because I'm a yes person. Like someone says, oh, do you want to go and do this? I'm like, yeah, go on. Yeah, cool. I'm down for anything pretty much. And this year's been the year where I've started to go, actually, I don't really want to do that. That doesn't really fit in with what I want to do at the moment. So actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I think that's been a big turning point for me this year.
Still, how do you balance that? Like staying curious, but then also, because like I'm quite like that as well. Like I love doing stuff because you never know what can happen if you try something. And I think that is a great attribute to have. But also, you've got to know when you're not being curious and you're doing it to please.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that's something that you've figured out?
100%. I think I've definitely got less. I'm turning into less of a people pleaser.
Okay.
Because I've definitely done that for like a lot of my life. I know people might disagree with me because I'm quite blunt and like I will say how I feel, but I do think I do a lot of stuff to like make other people happy and try and fit in. I'm really bad at trying to fit in around someone else instead of me actually that doesn't really work for me.
Doesn't suit you, yeah.
This isn't the best way for me to do this. Can we do it a different way? I was really bad at just saying, oh yeah, I'll try and fit that in. I'll try and do this. I'll try and do that. And I think, I've got better at going, actually, no, I need to really work out whether does that work for me? Is it going to be enjoyable? Like, what am I going to get out of it? Which sounds selfish, but at the end of the day, like, that's the whole point, isn't it? What if you're going to do something, what are you going to get out of it? Is it worth it to do that for me?
Yeah.
If not, then no.
I think it comes, I think on the surface level, you could see it as being selfish, but I think I've said this before, I think being selfish is the most unselfish thing to do because if you serve yourself, you can serve other people way better.
Yeah.
Because you are turning up as you.
Yeah.
That's what I found anyway, just like testing stuff. I'm like, if I go to an event or do something that I don't really want to do, you're only going to get like 50% of me.
Yeah.
And so
100%.
I think if you reframe it and just be like, actually, what shit I really want to do is going to be like, this is Becca Worgan, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Whereas, we do show up for stuff and we're like, no, I didn't really want it. And then you feel shit and then it's like a circle and that person probably knows that you don't feel great about it.
Yeah.
But
you're just not giving the best of yourself, are you? And I think if I say I'm going to do something, I want to be able to do that to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
Which again leads into me just not saying yes to everything. Like I'm so bad. All the time I whinge to Ben. I'm like, I've got too much on. I'm doing too much. I'm doing too much of this. I'm doing too much of that. And he's like, just say no then. Like start saying no to people. You don't have to do all of this stuff. Like you don't have to try and be this person in all these different environments. Just take a back seat for a little bit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think that's going to take me at least another
It's
10 years to work it out.
Is there anything like initially that you came across that you were like, that's the first thing I'm going to say no to?
I don't know, really. I say I'm saying no to stuff. I haven't really said no to anything yet. No, there's been like certain competitions and stuff that I think, like say for example, the Untested England's at the moment. I'm signed up for that. I've said I'm going to do it. But if I don't feel right sort of a couple of weeks before, there's a high chance I'll just say, I'm not going to do that
Yeah.
now. Like, whereas before, no matter what,
You'd have been there.
I would have turned up regardless of whether that was detrimental to me or not. I would have just done it anyway. So I think, yeah, like it's more that I'll leave the opportunities open, but if I don't feel like that's going to be beneficial to me in that moment, then I feel better about going, actually, no, this isn't going to work. But I think I only know that from having pushed through and done it.
Yeah.
So I've done those competitions where I thought you probably shouldn't do this. I've done it. It's gone badly, and I've gone.
Should
Who'd
have
have
listened
guessed?
to
Who'd have guessed? Of course you do.
Hindsight.
Yeah, that hindsight thing. So I'm hoping that sort of gets me into this 30s vibe a bit better.
Yeah. It's fluid though, isn't it? Like things change. Your trajectory changes on where you want to
Yeah.
be, and like 30s is new. Now you've qualified and you're doing coaching as well as physio.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's going to be enlightening you and giving you like things to enjoy with working with people that you probably didn't have before as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I think I've had so many opportunities like in this last year. Like I've had a great year. Like I got married, I've built a business, I finished my physio degree, like I've started a master's, I bought into a gym. Like I've had so many exciting things happen this year, and I think it's given me loads of other stuff to focus on, not just like Becca the athlete or Becca the student. It's given me all these different avenues for me to go, oh, actually, I can try a bit of this, I can do a bit of that. Like, giving me other opportunities and other focuses. Like, this year, yeah, being an athlete is still important to me, and I want to do well at competitions, but I'm not like I was a couple of years ago where I was, like, losing sleep because I wanted to win. I'm like, no, that's a secondary importance now. My business, my family, that's the most important thing. As long as that's all right, then yeah, I can focus on this athlete side of me, but my priorities are different.
Yeah. No, I think that comes with age. I'm not saying you're at 40s yet, mate. You get to 40 and you're like, right, what can I fuck up? No, I think it's quite good because I definitely didn't have that vibe in my 30s. I think I just went hell for leather and then burnt out. I was like,
I mean, I'm not going to sit here now and say that I've got it all figured out. I mean, I burn out on a regular basis, because I want to do so much stuff. I mean, at the moment, I've got exams and assignments due in January for my masters. I've got the gym business that I'm running and trying to keep that going and build it up and get it to something that's like a really cool vibe for all of us. I've got everything at home. I mean, our house is a nightmare. We've just built a new tortoise table, and I've been trying to fit
hold on, you just built a tortoise table.
Yeah, a table for my tortoises to live in, obviously. Duh. So
I didn't even know you had tortoises.
no, yeah, I've got 3 of them. Yeah.
Okay, what's a tortoise table?
So it's just a table to keep them in. So instead of a vivarium, we've built like into our bay window like a big. It's almost like a petting zoo enclosure almost.
Yeah.
So you can get inside there with them and like sit down in the soil and like just play and like have a nice time. But yeah, so we've been building that. The house is constantly getting renovated and doing all this. We've obviously got all the birds still and all the animals at the farm and that. And yeah, there's so many things happening. And then I've got like my podcast that I'm doing and stuff like this where there's so much stuff going on, and I am terrible for just doing everything.
Yeah.
All of the time.
Yeah.
I've got better. I'm getting better at organising myself and going, right, this day's for this day's for this day's for this. But there's some days where I wake up and I write lists. I'm a list person.
Okay, right.
Some of the lists I write are atrocious. They go past an A4 page. And I'm
Did
like,
that for one day?
yeah.
That's not physically possible.
Yeah, no, it's not. And I'm fully aware of it. I'll tick the ones that I've done off, and I look at the rest of the list and think, I'm just going to have to copy that into tomorrow, aren't I? Bloody hell. Like, it's just, yeah, it's crazy. But it's all fun stuff, though. It's all stuff that I really enjoy and I want to do, like, and I get a lot out of all of it. So even though, yeah, it might not be the most beneficial for me because I'm constantly, like, fighting this burnout, it's still stuff that is moving forward and that I'm enjoying pushing forward. So
Yeah.
I just don't mind a bit of burnout at the moment. I almost plan for it now.
Yeah.
I plan for it around my periods.
Oh dear, that's when
Yeah.
when you die.
So when my period's coming, I've got that flow app and I'll check and see where it's coming because I usually know because I feel a bit off and a bit dodgy.
Yeah.
As it's coming, I think, right, just book a couple of days off there. A couple of days to sit at home and doom scroll for the full day. Perfect. I'll be sound.
Mine's like lock myself in a dark room so I can't murder someone. Like when perimenopause hits you, you're like, I don't know how I'm going to be super nice or I'm going to murder someone today. It's
Oh,
like, what's
God.
coming?
Nah, I'm not looking forward to that. Like, no, that's going to be traumatizing for me, I think. I'm already, to be fair though, I'm better than I ever have been. I came off hormonal contraception a couple of years ago, and that's made a massive difference. I mean, I've just had probably the worst period of my life, where like I was like having all these weird symptoms. But up until the last one, it's been great. I've felt so much more stable.
Yeah.
So much better in myself. Like,
It's mad, isn't it? How long were you on them for? Because I did the same. I think I was probably late 20s when I just came off them completely, and I was like, oh my God.
yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, like what?
Yeah.
And then you think, I've taken a tablet every single day since I was
Yeah.
like 17.
Yeah. And I don't really know what that's doing to
No.
my body.
Yeah.
So I was on hormonal contraception since I was like 15 because I used to get really bad periods.
Yeah, me same.
And so I started on that and I've had everything. I mean, I've tried the implant, I've had the coil, which are horrific.
I've heard bad things.
If you've never had children, oh my God, that's not the one. That was one of the main things that has put me off childbirth for the rest of my life. I've never felt pain like it.
Getting it out or putting it in?
Both.
Oh, right.
Like getting it out was traumatizing. I think I passed out when they took it out.
Did ya?
Yeah, well, because they just whip them out, don't they? They don't even give you like any anaesthetic. They're just
Are
like,
they quite big?
they're pretty big. They're like
Oh, well,
that
gosh,
sort
yeah.
of size. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not great at all. And yeah, so I've had that. I've been on the pill. I've been on the last one I was on the injection, and the turning point for me was, well, there was a couple of turning points, but one of the main ones was I remember I broke my foot in the gym. I dropped a plate on my foot and snapped one of the bones in my foot. It wasn't like serious injury. It was fine. But when I went back to the GP to get my injection after that, I was in my boot. And she was like, oh, have you had many bone breaks? And I was like, no. And she was like, oh, just because this injection, it can like make your bones less
Brittle.
dense. Yeah, a bit more brittle. And like that, it's one of the side effects of this. And I was like, I had no idea about that. Like, was anyone going to tell me? Like, hang on a minute. I don't like this. So yeah, I came off it. And I mean, coming off it was bad. Like,
Yeah,
it was
it's brutal
hard
for a couple
work.
of months, isn't it?
Yeah, and I wasn't getting like regular periods. It was really hard work. But then I've got into this like routine of periods, and I've noticed like my mood swings are nowhere near as bad. I used to get it not every month, but before I got that injection, about a week to like maybe 10 days before, I would just get super depressed. Like,
Oh, really?
and really unsure of myself, which is not me.
Yeah.
I'm fairly confident in myself all of the time, and I'd get to the point where I'd be second guessing. Like, I'd be talking to my friends and then I'd go home and think, oh, I don't know if they like me, I don't know if that went well, I don't know if they're my friend actually really. And I was like, who are
is this
you? Like,
person? Yeah.
what is this person? And coming off of that, I've had none of that. Like, obviously you get hormonal over your period, don't you? But like, just a bit more snappy more than anything else. Like, nothing as intense as it was before.
Yeah.
And then the weight as well. Like, I've not struggled with my weight, but especially being in the weight class, like getting down to that under 82 for me, I said I was comfortable sitting at 86, 87. But now, having been off hormonal contraception for 2 years, I sit at 84 all
So that's
of the
kind
time.
of your natural, yeah.
Yeah.
It's mad, isn't it?
I don't have to try with that. Like, it doesn't matter, like, if I eat a big meal or if I do something different from what I usually do. My weight is steady. Like, I had a massive takeaway the other night, a load of cream buns, stepped on the scales next morning, 84 kilos. I was like, my weight's never been this stable before in my life. And I think a lot of that was to do with the hormones that I was taking. So it's been an interesting ride.
Yeah. It's kind of scary, and I think there's a lot of women now becoming more aware of it and going, oh, hold on a minute. The thing that we were told to do, let's start questioning it.
100%. We just don't know. Like, we're given these tablets and we're given these pills, and like, they say it's for our benefit, but do you know the side effects of what you're taking?
No.
Have you read it? I didn't read any of the side effects of anything that I was taking.
Well,
I
you
was
don't, especially when you're that young. Like, you're just like, oh, I'm not going to get pregnant.
Yeah, perfect.
Which we should put, actually, it can happen. Before any teenagers listening, it can. And then it becomes a routine and a habit.
Yeah, just blindly taking stuff. But I do think, again, I think that's a changing vibe in the world, though, isn't it? Like, just not believing 100% of what this professional says to you, this doctor or whatever, not taking exactly what they say is just the truth.
Yeah.
Having a bit about yourself to go away and research stuff and think about stuff before you actually make those decisions.
Yeah.
So I know with me, like, if I ever get poorly, I mean, I don't really get poorly now, but if I go to the doctor and they try and give me something, a tablet, I'll go away and I'll Google that first and work out what it is. Yeah. I just think it's not being like a conspiracy theorist about health, but I do think just having that bit about yourself to research into stuff more. And again, this is why I made my decision on not to take PEDs. I know my last podcast, I'd listened to it the other day because I'm full of myself, but I'd listened to it, and on it I said about taking PEDs, and I said I'd never say never. And I've now got to a point where I've said never. Like, I'm never going to take PEDs. I don't want to take them because the risks outweigh the benefits for me. And I didn't know that back then, but having done the amount of research that I now have done on them, I know that that's not the right decision for me, and it's never going to be the right decision. So I think, but like, the amount of people that don't do that research and don't look into these things and just take stuff willingly and blindly and go, well, it'll be all right, won't it? Like, will it?
Yeah. I mean, it's like most things in your youth. You do, like, I smoked for a period of time and random shit. I won't get into that in case any of my parents are listening. 40, that's crazy, isn't it? But you do, because you feel like, well, I'm in my 20s, like, whatever.
Yeah.
But then, if that slips in, and everything comes with that, like the bad eating and not exercising and just feeling like, and then the older you get, you're like, oh crap, like, yeah, this stuff's for real, and you start being more conscious. I think it is a bit of a rite of passage, but yeah, we've got busy lives as well. Like, it's so easy, take a tablet every day and it sorts your hormones out, and it is a contraception.
Yeah.
But is there other things that you can do? Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's choice, isn't it? I think we've got more choice and we're being more educated. I was reading lately that not many 20-year-olds now drink.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's crazy. That's the best time of my life. I've been absolute. And then you think, well, that's probably sensible.
Yeah. yeah, exactly.
If coffee's their only vice or whatever. Someone was like, oh no, now they're turning to drugs. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's a whole other thing. Let's not get into
maybe
that.
not better, but
That's what I'm here for. Well, that's amazing. Like, I think it's great to catch up with you after a year, because it sounds like you've done a lot, learned a lot. There's been some very interesting experiences there. So we've got world training coming up.
Yeah.
But you're happy going with the flow with that, seeing what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Do you want to leave us with some thoughts on? You've seen lots of people come to you and ask for training and get trained by you now that you've got your coaching side. Like, is there anything that comes up when, I say, we'll put specifically women come to you, that you would kind of like to say to other women, i.e., I'm not articulating this very well, but is there something that potentially stops people from doing lifting, and what could you say to them?
I think the main thing for me at the moment is it's never too late to start. Mm-hmm. You've never passed that point ever. Like, you can always start somewhere, and yeah, it's scary starting something completely brand new, but you have to be a beginner at some point. You have to be, if you want that goal at the end, if you want to be stronger and you want to be healthier and you want to be better later on in your life, then you need to start, like, at some point. So just get it done. Get that first bit out of the way. Get that first terrible, oh my God, I hate lifting. I've got terrible DOMs. I'm so bad at this. Everything looks crap. Get it out of the way. Yeah. Get it done, because the benefits that you'll have after that point are so huge. Like, it's massive. I feel like now, lifting, I used to lift, one, because I wanted to look a certain way, and two, because I wanted to win competitions. And now my lifting is based around, is this helping me live a longer, better and healthier life? I don't want to be falling over and breaking hips at 70. I don't want to be unable to get off the floor if I fall at 70. I want to be able to be still lifting, still going out for walks, still going and hanging out with my mates at 70, 80, 90 years old, and be able to get up off of a chair without having to push and use my arms. Like, that's my biggest thing now that keeps me strength training. So even if I'm not doing comps and I'm not in comp prep or I'm not doing this, I'll still go and strength train in the gym because I just enjoy it. And
Yeah.
I know that in 20, 30, 40 years, I'll massively benefit from that. So I think, just start, get it done, get it out of the way. And also, you're not going to get fucking bulky. I've been trying for years.
Same here.
I'm here. I'm still like, 6 years in now, nearly 7 years into strength training, and my biceps are still tiny. Like, I've got nothing. So you're not going to get bulky. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
No to bulk. All right, amazing. Well, hopefully we'll get you back maybe in another year and see where the journey's taking you. But
recap.
it's been awesome. Yeah, totally.
No, thank you for having me. It's been very fun.
You're welcome. We're going to put all your links in the description as well to all your socials. You're very good when people reach out to you online at responding. So if anyone's got any questions, don't ask me because I haven't got a clue. Ask Becca.
No problem.
All right. Thanks, mate. Awesome.